Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we've checked in with the pontiff. Of course, I'm speaking of Ben Shapiro. He is the self-anointed Pope of the Jews. He is the one who gets to determine who is a Jew and who is not a Jew. And let's weigh in today to see who Ben Shapiro has decided by his great grace, his holy grace, who shall be a Jew and who shall not be a Jew.
You're deeply concerned about anti-Semitism, but you don't care about the fact that Bernie Sanders he campaigns with open anti-Semites. That Bernie Sanders is the Jeremy Corbyn of the United States. He spends all his time hanging out with people who despise Jews. And
pause it for 1 second. Now, for the analogy to be correct, aside from all the other lies that he's telling, Jeremy Corbyn would also have to be Jewish. Right? That's the breakdown in the analogy.
Well, Bernie's not really Jewish, though.
Well, we got to get there. But I mean, even nominally, Jeremy Corbyn does not even claim to be Jewish. In fact, he doesn't even claim that his family members, distant family members, were killed by Hitler for being Jewish. That's where the analogy breaks down at the beginning.
And want to see the Jewish state destroyed. Hey, the Bernie Sanders over the weekend suggested he's never spoken at an AIPAC policy conference, by the way, at an American Israel Public Affairs Committee conference. He's never spoken at one, not for years, ever. Right now, when he was a presidential candidate in 2016, never. Okay, he put out a statement suggesting that he would not speak at AIPAC, said Bernie Sanders, who, again, when people talk about his Jewish roots, he's so Jewish. In terms of his actual practice, in terms of how much he cares about Judaism, not his ethnic Judaism. Ethnic Judaism is ethnic. Judaism is just an ethnicity. But in terms of his actual practical Judaism and how much he cares about Judaism, dude's as Jewish as a ham sandwich. He's Jewish like Karl Marx was Jewish. Okay, Bernie Sanders tweets out, the Israeli people have a right to live in peace and security. So do the Palestinian people. First of all, I've not seen one shred of evidence that Bernie actually believes that Jewish people in Israel have a right to live in peace and security, since he has backed every single deal that would do damage to the safety and security of the people of Israel and supports giving...
Pause it for 1 second. Now, Ben surely knows this because he is the Pope of the Jews. But not every Israeli Jew would constitute a Jew in Ben Shapiro's mind. I've got some, I imagine that the Pope of the Jews has been to Israel, but surely his pontiff, his grace, must be aware that there are many Jews in Israel who do not practice Judaism whatsoever.
Yeah, there's some real bad ones in Tel Aviv.
I mean, they're just culturally Jewish, according to the Pope of the Jews, Ben Shapiro.
Have a right to live in peace and security, since he has backed every single deal that would do damage to the safety and security of the people of Israel and supports giving foreign aid to Hamas. He said, I remain concerned about the platform AIPAC provides for leaders who express bigotry and oppose basic Palestinian rights. For that reason, I will not attend that conference. As president, I will support the rights of both Israelis and Palestinians and do everything possible to bring peace and security to the region. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. AIPAC is the most milquetoast organization in Israel affairs. Like the most milquetoast. They have everybody. Democrats, Republicans, moderates, they have everybody speaks to AIPAC. Okay, but Bernie is saying that AIPAC is too much for him. As we'll see, Bernie is fine with anti-Semites in his own campaign. So spare me your crocodile tears over anti-Semitism. All you ridiculous leftists who don't give a damn when Jews are under rocket fire in Israel and don't give a damn when Jews are being beaten on the streets of Williamsburg. Now you're coming out of the woodwork to inform me that Chris Matthews is an anti-Semite because he made an oblique statement about people who aren't willing to accept reality in history. People are ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You don't give a crap about anti-Semitism. If you did, you wouldn't be nominating a guy who is more than happy to hobnob with anti-Semites. Again, the man's as Jewish as Karl Marx was Jewish.
Aside from the irony of all the people that Ben Shapiro has platformed in his day and has supported, who have platformed other people who have a far more militant claim. Now, of course, the Pope, Ben Shapiro, does not believe that Bernie Sanders qualifies as Jewish because the Pope, Ben Shapiro. Now, let me ask you this. I know everybody says that he wears a kippah, but doesn't also the Pope also wear what looks like a kippah? Because I wonder if Ben Shapiro, when he's not out in public, wears the big Pope hat. Now,
So I just tried to look up to see if, calling people Jews in name only was one of the things he apologized. And so here's a giant list of all the dumb stuff I've ever said. Don't worry, I'll keep updating it thing. But it's behind a paywall now.
That's smart.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, folks, incidentally, that reminds me, I have written a list of some of my largest apologies for a lot of things that you're not aware.
Some of the worst stuff you've done.
Some of the worst things I've done, things that I have never, ever even acknowledged happened in public. And that's available to you as a member of the Majority Report. Now, of course, you got to come in as a Sam Seder member. That is $1,000 a month. But again, that allows you to see all of the horrible things that I've done and my apologies for them. And of course, we only take that in year-long installments. So you could sign up at jointhemajorityreport.com. And I've just been informed that the Pope yarmulke is called a zucchetto. So, I mean, it's unclear to me if what Shapiro is wearing is a kippah or a yarmulke, or in fact, a zucchetto.
I'm learning a lot.
He's the Pope. He gets to decide who a Jew is and who a Jew is not.
Yep, and all the Jews listen to him.
Now,
that's just what we're like.
Here's the thing. Ben Shapiro practices Rabbinic Judaism. And everyone knows that Rabbinic Judaism is less than 2,100 years old. I practice the only true Judaism, which is the one of the temple, where priests ruled the day, Hebrew priests, and we, because I say we, because I am a real Jew, and Ben Shapiro is a pretender. And the high priests would accept all sorts of gifts and sacrifices. So you could bring me a goat or you could bring me money. And it wasn't until Ben Shapiro's friend Jesus came in and threw the money changers aside. So it is so ironic to me that the Pope, Ben Shapiro, pretends that he knows what Jews are. But I tell you right now, I am the one who decides who a real Jew is. And Ben Shapiro is no real Jew. In fact, this whole AIPAC conspiracy is what is known as a beard. It's a beard to hide the fact that he's not a real Jew. And I also notice he shaves. He shaves in the 5 points. It's a real problem. It's a real problem.
I thought you were going to say you practice the immortal science of Marxist-Leninism.
No, that is not true either. I just am full on temple-based Hebrewism. So there you go.